Hi there, this is Yoshi. Today I want to do some experiment, which is a fertilizer solution. I got a gift from Paula from Hillbilly Orchids, and then also she made a video about her fertilizer. As you can tell from the title, it's about a Jack's two parts. I never used it before. I actually never used the fancy ones. This is like one of those I have. Like pretty generic orchid fertilizer, nothing fancy, super cheap, and that's what I've been using. But I want to step up, right? Everybody wants to step up at certain point and use everything better, right? At least I am. So today I want to do some experiment on fertilizer. The one she sent me, I'll show you, is this. Like I said, Jack's. It's two parts: cal nitrate, Epsom salts. Well, Epsom salts is something to add on later, but another one is Jack's fertilizer. And this is 4 gallons of rainwater. This is how much I would use if I would to water all my greenhouse. So just so you know, this is my greenhouse. I don't know how many plants are in here, but anyways, usually I go through with the sprayer, and anyways, it says 8. It's around 8, 9. Yeah, it says 9 now. Parts per million. Parts per million is kind of important because then you would know how much salt, mineral, something like that will be in the water, and that's how you would determine how much fertilizer is in. Now, orchids are epiphytes, most of them, so they take very little fertilizers. So if you watch the Stephen Kampen-Lewis's chat video with Fred Clarke, my watering is based on what he taught at our class. He had a class about 80 percentile orchid grower, or was it 20 percentile? I forgot which one, but basically how he fertilized water and stuff. So that's what I'm based on. Weekly, every time is what he says, basically, even in winter time. Maybe higher in summertime, but then here's what he says about that. He goes, when you, let's say, have 100 parts per million in the water as a fertilizer, in summertime you would water often. In my greenhouse, in this case, I water every day, almost every day, and I cannot catch up with this kind of a method and make a solution and then spray. I cannot do that. I have to water every single day. So I use slow release fertilizer. I put them on like a March, and 4 month or 5 month later, which is what, August, September, something like that, it expires, right? It's no longer, there's no fertilizer in those little slow fertilizer bits anymore. So naturally the fertilizer is not going to be there. So that's why I switched to this. But then you water less in wintertime because the water dries out a lot slower. So in other words, in summertime you would water often, therefore the plants will get the food often, naturally. In wintertime you water plants less, so the plants get less food naturally. So like for that, fowls and bandas, those of you who hang them, that's what I would do, mount them or hang them, especially fowls. All my bandas are all hanging, and so it dries really quickly even in wintertime. And so I would water a lot every time, almost every day, even wintertime. But then guess what? So therefore that will make it a heavy feeder, and with the 100 parts per million in water, I feed them more often. Therefore it gets more, if that makes sense. And that kind of a talk blew my mind when I heard it. So that's what I'm going with. I mean, it's Fred Clarke, right? It cannot be wrong. He knows what he's talking about, you know what I mean? So that's what I do. I don't stop fertilizing, period. Whether it's weak or not weak, I don't really flush. When you have 100 per million in water, you don't really need to flush. Why are you flushing? And if you're using tap water to flush, how much parts per million in your water? Is it a hard water? Is it super soft? RO water, do you really need RO water for flushing? I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not bashing anybody, I'm just saying I live in Lake Stevens, and my tap water is like only 20 to 25 parts per million, and I never have to worry about how hard the water is. So I'm kind of in lucky conditions here. But anyway, enough that. I want to keep going with the experiment. Now I am going to this is supposedly 4 gallon. This is 2 quarts, half a gallon, and I want to put it in this. This is where I store the water, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I was not really up to this task actually, just because I don't have time in the winter time to mix up the water every time I water. You know, some fertilizers, is it 3? Yeah, 3. 4. I should count first. 5. Hold on. Okay, I moved it. So this was actually 4 gallon, and a little bit less than 4 gallon, but I call it 4 gallon. And where was I? Yeah, I was chatting about Jack's fertilizer. I heard a lot good thing about it, especially Rick L was using it, so it must be really good, right? So I was chatting with Paula the other day, and she loves Jack's. She claims it's different, and like I said, I was not particularly up to the task because I was thinking I have to water, make a mix every time like some fertilizers are, and I said I can't do that. And she's like, oh no, you mix it and then you can leave it there. Once its mix is done, then it's done. You can leave it and then use it. You know, obviously you don't want to leave it for like a week or 2 weeks or something like that, but that's not going to happen, you know. So I'm like, okay, if that's the case, I can do that. I can mix it like the day before go to bed, and then use it for the next day. You know what I mean? And I don't really water the whole greenhouse all at once. Maybe my day off I would, if the watering cycle is right. But I don't have time to water all greenhouse, especially with a spray. With a hose down, it's easy, so I can do that in summertime. But then winter time with the sprayer, I can't do it. I have to separate them in section, maybe this way, bandas, and that way, or something like that. So I don't use whole 4 gallon. Maybe only, like I said, on my days off when I need to. So yeah, so I said I can do it, and she said, okay, I'm gonna send you some, and that's why it's here, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm not going to mix it in here. The shape of the tub is not really desirable to mix stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move in here, and then mix this first and then pour them over here. So according to Paula, for 4 gallons, she said a 1/4 teaspoon of Jack's Cal nitrate. But believe me or not, this is like a 3rd time I tested, and it's too high. I don't know if I put the Epsom salt, too much Epsom salt or what, but I'm going by less. This is less than, I just put twice of 1/8 teaspoon. I was trying to do with full 1/8 teaspoon twice, but I found out that it's too much. I mean, in everything it's too much. So that's why I'm thinking I put too much Epsom salt. Maybe, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go a little easier on this time and see if it's gonna work out. And this one, as you can see, it's a little bees, so it takes a little while to dissolve everything. I'm trying to like push it down and mix it, and of course the water temperature is part of the reason too. I usually put rainwater full in this bucket and then leave it overnight and then put it in front of a heater. I have 2 heaters, and after that, overnight it gets warmer, and that's or more than one overnight, I guess. That will become room temperature here, or even warmer because it's in front of the heater. So that's what I would use. That way it's warmer. Now, Jack's fertilizer 5-12-26. She said half teaspoon. So I'm gonna do easier, less than 1/8 teaspoon, 4 times. That will make it a half teaspoon. Yeah, it's not really exact, but what can I do? 2, like little tiny bit less, 3 and 4. All right, and then she said add 1 pinch of Epsom salt. But what I'm gonna do here is, this time, this is a 3rd time attempt, is to mix this in. It's not dissolved yet. I'll be right back after it dissolves. Alrighty, pour this in. So now this is a total of 4 gallon. Just in case there's leftover, I'm gonna do this. Now I want to see what it says now. 132. This is already way too high for me, especially in winter time. So I need to put little less Epsom salt than I did for the prior 2 times. And she specifically said make sure it's all dissolved first. That's just tiny bit. I knew Epsom salt is actually, you put little bit and it could add so much to water. I knew that much, but yeah, that's like really light pinch. 130, I can deal with that in winter time. Next time I would put less, I guess, and I'll go there. I'm not too particular about how much fertilizer, honestly. Yeah, and then that gave me 140. That's going higher. So 1 pinch gives me about 20 jumps. Yeah, you see what I mean? The 1 pinch salt can do so much. So you gotta be really careful with that. 154. So minus 9. It's less than 150. I can use this. I can totally use this. So now I know how much I need to put in. So this is what I would use now. This is gonna be my fertilizer from now on, I think. Tell me what you think. You know, the fertilizer is so controversial. And I've been really avoiding this subject as much as I can, honestly. But I encourage you to watch Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis's video chat with Fred Clarke and see if that makes sense to you. I'm gonna put the link down below. So anyways, I'm going to put it in the sprayer and water the plants now. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a good day. Bye.